My God story of most recent is about my baby daughter that we just had for about a year or so. My wife had had a dream about us having a baby girl, but we weren't getting pregnant with a baby girl, and we weren't even sure that we wanted to be pregnant. We were thinking about adopting or foster to adopt, and we were looking at taking the classes to foster to adopt, but we weren't sure how we were going to get the funds and the finances to do anything that or any bit of what we needed. We'd looked in overseas adoption, we'd looked at home adoption, we looked at foster to adoption. And then one day my wife came home and she came out with a pregnancy test and threw it on the table and said, "What does that say?" And I picked it up and I was like, it says that it's got a line. I was like, I don't know, is it supposed to have a line? I was like, what are we doing here? Because this is totally out of my, totally off the wall for me. I was not expecting this at all. And she's like, look at it. And she throws the box at me. And so I flipped the box over and I was like, well, it looks like we have a baby. And she's like, I knew it, we're pregnant. And it was funny because she was frustrated because of all this time that she had been trying to get pregnant, but then she wasn't getting pregnant, and then all this research and this time that we put in to fostering to adopt or trying to adopt. And it was funny because we were just in this whirlwind of a mess, and then all of a sudden God said, "Be still. I've got this taken control of." And part of the reason why we wanted to adopt is we have two little boys already, and so we were thinking, well, this is one way we could be sure we could have a little girl. There's plenty of kids in need of a good home. And sure enough, we ended up, and the baby was a girl, so now we have a healthy 10-month baby at home. And she's wonderful, and she's the biggest blessing and surprise because we were not planning on having any more biological children. And, God's funny. He has a way of just doing things that surprise you when you think that you've got it figured out one way, and he says, no, I've got it figured out another. And the blessing and the story behind that, it was such a God moment and a God story. It was awesome.